In part 3 of this lesson on factoring polynomials, we're still going to be factoring by grouping, but this time our a value is not going to be 1. Even if there's a GCF, a will not be 1. The process is still the same. 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. First of all, we ask if there's a GCF. There is not. So now we can go and immediately identify our a value, our b value, and our c value. Again, we're still trying to break apart 5x into two terms without changing the value. So here we have 2 times 3, 6, and then our bottom number is 5. So our combinations of 6 are 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. We can see that 2 and 3 are the two numbers we're going to use to rewrite our linear term. 2 plus 3 is 5. 2x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 3. We have 4 terms. We're going to group the first two. We're going to group the last two. I'm going to factor out the GCF, and notice this time it's not just an x. So we have 2x here, and we're left with x plus 1. We have a plus as our operation. I'm going to factor out a 3, and I'm left with x plus 1. Now we're going to write our two factors of our polynomial. One factor is 2x plus 3. The other factor is x plus 1. It is the same process. You're just going to notice that the GCF in our first binomial is not going to be just an x. 4x squared minus 10x minus 24. I'm going to ask, is there a GCF? And there is. Each of these numbers is even, so I know I can factor out a GCF of 2. Then we're left with 2x squared minus 5x minus 12. Our a value is 2, our b value is negative 5, and our c value is negative 12. Again, we're trying to rewrite this linear term into two terms. A times c gives us negative 24. Our b value is negative 5. We have 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. What combination could possibly give us a negative 5? And of course, we know one of the numbers needs to be negative because our product is negative. So it looks like this combination here, and we're going to let 8 be negative because we have a negative sum. That's how we're going to rewrite the middle term. I'm going to bring down my GCF. I'm going to use brackets. I'm going to rewrite this trinomial as 2x squared plus 3x minus 8x minus 12. 3x minus 8x is still negative 5x. Now we have 4 terms, so we can group to pair. Bring down your GCF. Factor out the GCF here. In this case, it is just x, and we're left with 2x plus 3. Bring down your subtract. Be careful here. I'm going to factor out a 4, so that is a negative 4 we're factoring out. Negative 8x divided by negative 4 is positive 2x. Negative 12 divided by negative 4 is positive 3. Notice these two are the same, so I did everything correctly. Bring down your GCF of 2. X minus 4 times 2x plus 3. This has 3 factors, 2, x minus 4, and 2x plus 3. 9x squared minus 21x plus 12. I noticed that 3 can divide into each of those terms evenly. I'm going to factor out the GCF of 3, and we're left with 3x squared minus 7x plus 4. My a value is 3, my b value is negative 7, and my c value is 4. In my graphic organizer, 3 times 4 And my bottom number is -7, the b value. The possible combinations, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. I do have a negative sum and a positive product. So I know my two numbers are going to be negative, and I'm going to use 3 and 4. So -3 times -4 gives us +12 and adds up to -7. So we're going to rewrite the middle term using -3 and -4. Bring down your GCF of 3. Rewrite this trinomial as 3x squared minus 3x minus 4x plus 4. Group the first two terms and the last two terms. Bring down your GCF of 3. Factor out the GCF here, which is going to be 3x. I have a subtraction here. Don't lose your operation. I'm going to factor out a 4. So this is really a -4. -4x divided by -4 is positive x. 4 divided by -4 is -1. Bring down your GCF. Create your first binomial factor of 3x minus 4. And your other binomial factor is x minus 1. So again, we have 3 factors. Let's do one more. 6x squared plus 10x minus 4. I have a GCF of 2. I'm left with 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. My A value for this trinomial is 3, my B value is 5, and my C value is -2. In our graphic organizer, we have A times C, which is -6, and our B value is 5. Our combinations are 1 and 6, and 2 and 3. So we know that we need 1 to be negative and 1 to be positive because we have a negative product. So we're going to use 1 and 6, but we need a +5, so I'm going to put the negative on the 1. We're going to rewrite the middle term of 5x into -1x and 6x. Bring down your GCF. We're going to rewrite this trinomial, 3x squared minus 1x plus 6x minus 2. Group the first two terms and the last two terms. Bring down your GCF. Factor out an x in our first binomial, and we're left with 3x minus 1. Bring down your plus. I'm going to factor out a 2, and we're left with 3x minus 1. 2, our GCF. X plus 2 and 3x minus 1 are the 3 factors of our quadratic trinomial.